Welcome everyone to episode number 28 of the Let's Discuss Gaming podcast. I am your host, Triple J. Joining me is my co-host, Dr. Games 101.
Hello, people. Also broadcasting for the first time on my end on Twitch. So feel free to visit either of our Twitch accounts for our live broadcast every weekend or every other week from now on.
Well, it's going to be I think it's going to be a simulcast every episode from now on.
Pretty much, yes.
You can go to his Twitch or you can go to my Twitch. Hopefully, we'll get people from both, followers list listening to the podcast. The first thing I want to bring up, it's the first subject I had on the list. Did you hear about WWF No Mercy having a planned sequel on the Nintendo 64?
No way. What are you talking about?
Okay, you did not know about this.
You're telling me that after 15 years, 20 years later...
No. Let me back up. When WWF Warzone came out, it came out on N64 and PlayStation.
That's correct.
When Attitude came out, same thing, and then like a year later it was added to the Dreamcast.
Okay.
Then WrestleMania 2000 came out on N64, SmackDown came out on PlayStation.
Okay.
WWF No Mercy came out on N64, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role came out on PlayStation. There was going to be a third N64 exclusive that was going to come out around 2001.
Oh, yeah, you've told me that plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
So what's so different right now?
Well, it's just a lot of information has come out now about it.
After all these years, took that long? Wow.
Yeah. The magic of the internet. It was going to be WWF Backlash. The cover had Triple H on the cover with the Backlash spikes behind him. And a lot of people are claiming that it was going to have the Invasion storyline.
I see. Wow.
Yeah, because keep in mind, the No Mercy games, WrestleMania 2000 came out in October of 99. No Mercy came out in November of 2000. So 1 year later, it would have been October, November, December of 2001.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the Backlash was never completed. It was like at 30% completion, and then the game was scrapped.
Well, they waited until the last year of the life cycle of the game console to be made, so...
Right. Well, I mean, without WrestleMania 2000 and its 64 and No Mercy to build the groundwork. But some people have actually made a mod of what they expected Invasion to be. So basically, this could have been the Invasion game that we all wanted as when we were in high school that we never got. You know, SmackDown 3, Just Bring It, didn't have that many wrestlers that were, it was missing Rob Van Dam, Diamond Dallas Page, Booker T. SmackDown 4, Shut Your Mouth, the Invasion was already over.
I see, of course.
The first thing that happens in the season mode of SmackDown 4 is the draft.
Yes. That started on March of 2002 in actuality.
They were, but some people have made, like I said, they made a mod, because the modding community with WWF No Mercy is amazing. People made so many mods of this game. And it's just, just seeing all the characters that you could have had, both from WWF and from the Alliance. You would have had WrestleMania X7 arena, you would have had the Invasion arena, probably every arena from 2000, every arena from June of 2000 to May of 2001, maybe a little further, because I know Invasion was in July.
Yes.
But I mean,
2001.
Huh?
Invasion, the pay-per-view started, it was in July 2001.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, I think, and especially if the game was going to come out at the Q4 of 2001, you'd expect they would have had stuff from the summer in there.
Right, right.
So what do you? So I mean, it just sounds like a game we missed out on.
Well, we talked about this so many times over the years, on and off, since we were like teenagers, James. And I'm not trying to say that I don't want that to happen. Actually, relive the N64 years for a sequel to the matter, to the system itself, if possible, or maybe like release it on like on Xbox One or PS4 or something like that. But it had this moment to do it, to relive the matter, but how many people won't really care so much about the matter at hand? Is there enough wrestling video gamers out there who are still into trying to relive the Alliance era? That's kind of like, it'd be nice to see pay-per-view matches of it, like, in a sense with Diamond Dallas Page and Christian, Edge and Christian going up against each other, and Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Kurt Angle. Those are the good matches of that particular year that I like. And also the
don't forget Rob Van Dam and Jeff Hardy.
Oh yeah, there was obviously a brother versus brother fighting each other, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. So that was always one of the best wrestling years of all wrestling history. 2001.
Yeah, yeah. It's just how they handled the invasion angle. It's just how they handled it on TV. It could have been so much more than what they did.
Well, it was actually so much more in my perspective, because I thought it was real at first, right? As a 13-year-old teenager, So because Vince McMahon wanted a divorce with his wife Linda McMahon, and Shane McMahon defeated his father Vince McMahon in a street fight in WrestleMania 17. I also have there's also the review here of WWF Action, because how every year WWF has a TV sequence where it's like at the end of every year to go over what happened or the highlights of the matches. Well, since
they used to do that on actual TV, like that would be like the Christmas episode.
Yeah, actually, I have that pay-per-view, but it's a recorded version of the matter, and it's very good. And it was so excited at first, but as you get older, you see other things. You're like, okay, I'm better here and there, but let's just say that the Alliance, that's like, if they can relive that matter, so be it. That's fine by me. I'll watch wrestling by then.
Well, I remember like WWF ended 2001. Like I think they had like JR and King calling the action, like the 10 best matches of the year, and then they had like moments of special moments of the invasion, stuff like that. I actually have that on VHS tape somewhere. I gotta see if I still have it.
Okay.
They also, but the thing is, speaking of the invasion angle, they revisited this in WWE 12, the video game.
Well, it was considered to be the 10th anniversary of the invasion, so.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. But it was the third. They had in WWE 12, they had 3 stories. You had to do the 3 in order, and the third story, you were a newcomer. And you won your NXT. You won your NXT season, so you got a contract. And all of a sudden, things are going fine until WCW wrestlers like Booker T and Kevin Nash are getting the chance to run the show.
I see. Wow.
They pulled the guest host thing. Like Booker T is the guest host of Monday Night Raw, and he goes, "Okay, the newcomer's gonna face Husky Harris. Loser is fired. Winner faces me at Clash of Champions."
Oh, okay.
And then John Cena's facing Rey Mysterio, who was your mentor in NXT. And then, so you're watching Rey Mysterio take on John Cena, cheering him on. All of a sudden, like Vader, Road Warrior, Animal, Booker T, and Kevin Nash come out.
Wow.
They throw John Cena out of the ring. They throw Rey Mysterio like into the third row of the audience.
It's like when the Big Show did the same thing, threw Rey Mysterio on the other side of the arena.
Then John Cena's like, looks at you. He's like, "Are you ready to fight?" And you look at the four guys in the ring. You look at Cena. And your guy goes, "I'm in. What's the plan?" John Cena's like, "Get in and start swinging." And they four guys take you out, and then you had guys jumping ship, like Rey Mysterio and Kevin Nash want you to join them. When you turn them down, Big Show tries to attack you from behind.
Okay.
And like he picks you up. Triple H comes out, low blows Big Show, pedigrees him on the steel lamp. And Triple H was like, "That's it. This invasion is over. At WrestleMania, it's gonna be me and Jacob Cass against you two. Winner gets control of WWE."
Oh wow.
So, but what my favorite cutscene of that whole time to do with the invasion, like war would be starting. It's 9 p.m. Fireworks are going off. You see at the top of the ramp, Vader and Road Warrior Animal pick up the Undertaker and throw him off the top of the ramp. Then you see through the view of the cameraman, he runs down the ramp. You see the camera you see through the view of the camera running down the ramp, going through the ring. On the far side of the ring, Randy Orton's fighting off Arn Anderson and the Big Show. And Randy Orton has Arn Anderson on his hands and knees. Orton does the punt to Arn Anderson. As Orton turns around, Big Show spears Orton through the steel steps.
Holy shit.
Yes. So that's really the closest thing we got to an invasion video game.
Oh yeah. My sound effect makes me want to buy WWE 12, even though that's back in the 360 PS3 years.
Yeah, or Xbox 360. But the only problem is, to get to that storyline, you have to play through Sheamus' story and Triple H's story first.
Why those particular ones?
Those are because it starts off in order. You don't even get a choice to choose. When it's your first time playing the story, it just drops you off in that. It just drops you off. It just drops you off in Sheamus' story, and then Triple H's story follows right where Sheamus' story leaves off.
Oh, I see. So basically, it's like SmackDown versus Raw 2004, or the first SmackDown versus Raw 2004 game, where Eric Bischoff talks and the other wrestler talks, but you don't, in a sense. But you're required to go up against certain matchups with certain people at a certain time, in a sense. So it's similar fashion with this one.
Well, I'm not to. I don't want to make it sound like those stories weren't good, because Sheamus had the story of how he and other United Kingdom wrestlers were banding together to create their own stable.
Okay.
Like what happened is it was bragging rights. They had the 7-on-7 bragging rights match. And it came down to Sheamus and Edge against Wade Barrett and Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
The two teams of two meet in the middle of the ring, and Sheamus and Wade Barrett blast their own partners, shake hands, and leave the ring together. Then Drew McIntyre joins the group. Then Regal joins the group. And Regal was kind of like the mouthpiece or the fourth man, depending, if they needed an extra partner or not.
I see.
And they end up getting all the championships between the four of them. And you, as Sheamus, you have to win your match at WrestleMania with all the titles on the line.
Okay.
Then, when you win that match, you took out Triple H at Royal Rumble. As Sheamus is walking up the ramp, Triple H comes out at WrestleMania, and then this switches to Triple H's story.
Okay.
So, and honestly, it was Triple H's story that was the most boring. Anyway, that was the wrestling part of this, wrestling part game of this podcast.
Right.
Next subject, Metal Gear Solid, the level skip and the death animation. Did you hear about this?
Well, we talked about Metal Gear Solid could be a remake for a PS5 sometime in the next couple of years. But that's about it, really.
Okay, so that's not what I was talking about. Is in the original Metal Gear Solid, there's a way to skip the fight with the Hind D helicopter.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
When you're running up the steps, there's a couple ways to do it. I'll say the easiest way to do it. When you're running up the steps, you'll pass by a door that you don't have the card to open yet. What you gotta do is like stand up against that door, throw like a shaft grenade, and like the blast from the shaft grenade. If you do it right, the blast from the shaft grenade will push you past through that door.
Wow.
You can also like shoot your gun that doesn't have a suppressor on it, and like an enemy, and like if you're standing up against that door and enemies shoot you, you'll end up going through that door. But you have to take damage.
Right.
But yeah, there's apparently a way to. I heard that was the way to skip the Hind D helicopter fight.
Interesting.
And there's there's an undiscovered, recently undiscovered till recently death animation, where say you're in a room filled with gas, and you're wearing the cardboard box.
Okay.
If you die, you run out of air. Like you'll see the cardboard box like tip over when Snake dies. Normally, in other games, the cardboard box would disappear and Snake would die like normal.
Alright.
And in Metal Gear Solid, they have a special death animation if you happen to be wearing the box when you die.
I see.
Yeah, so it's amazing that I thought I found all the secrets in Metal Gear Solid. I know how to get like the secret video in the briefing section. But people are still finding secrets that we never thought to look for.
It's like the Metal Gear Solid 5 game, Phantom Pain. After 5 years, someone discovered and dismantled the nuclear warheads, and it turned out to be like an actual 5, 6, 7 minutes sequence, like a 5-minute cutscene of sorts. We didn't expect that after 5 years later, since the release of that particular game. So anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean,
the developers know what they're doing at the time back then. Like they really know how to make sure they keep your money's worth to keep it onto these games from like 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and you still find new shit. There's even breaking records of like how to game a certain amount of time, like with those speed runs, for example. One time I saw one guy beat Time Crisis 1. I know I can refer to Time Crisis, but Time Crisis 1, the guy beat the game in like 10 minutes. Not even. Wow. It took me 14 minutes, the smallest, to get there. After 5, 10, 15 years later, someone outbeat my score. So I can't believe that anything's possible. So, don't let the old games fool you that they're old. They actually have something still in there.
Yeah, my younger brother said he was watching a Metal Gear Solid speedrun, and the guy beat the game like in an hour and a half.
God damn. Glitches.